And welcome to the ABC Challenge. The ABC Challenge is where you and I facilitate me working through my monumental to read shelf by going through the authors in ABC, so I don't get stuck on the M's and never make it to the Z's. That's not going to happen. Stuck on the M's and never make it to the B's. And so I took a break from this in June to travel and read whatever I wanted to. But up until then, we were up to the H's, weren't we? So where are we now? Big I, little I. What begins with I? Well, as it turns out, not a whole lot. It turns out that on my shelves, I have less than a dozen authors beginning with I, and 10 of them I've already read. The only one on my to-read shelf is Lasseter's Last Ride. So maybe I'll read this. I have to say it wasn't terribly high on my to-read list, but you can vote for this one if you want, and I will read it. What I've got here is a beautiful little all-Australian popular paperback series. Pacific paperbacks. This one was published before I was born in 1963. It's still in pretty damn good condition. I'd guess it hasn't been read very much. Once or twice maybe, not more than that. So IDRIESS, I suspect that very few Australians have actually heard of him, and probably almost no one outside Australia. Lasseter's Last Ride is about an Afghan camel driver who found someone out in the outback, raging with thirst and clutching a bag of gold specimens. The desert fringe was in Western Australia. Harry Lasseter had stumbled upon a fabulous reef, a gold reef, a mine of gold sitting in the middle of the desert as a reef. Lasseter's reef is a bit of iconic history or myth, depending on the person you talk to in Australia, and I actually wouldn't mind reading this sometime. It wasn't high on my list until I started thinking about it. Now it's a bit higher. You can vote for the only author beginning with I on my to-read list here if you like. But there's not a lot of choice there, right? So I figured we would move on to a big J, a little J. What begins with J? That looks like honey to me, not jam. I'm just saying. One of the things is Jerry Jordan's jelly jar and jam began that way. Sure, whatever, Dr. Seuss. You were an icon. Turns out I've also got a Jordan. Robert Jordan, Conan the Unconquered. Now, I have this just because. I have read Robert Jordan. I read Wheel of Time up until... It was Wheel of Time, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Up until, I don't know, about 7 or 8 when I decided that I wanted a life instead. I have never read any Robert Jordan except that Wheel of Time. If you think I should read Conan the Conqueror by Robert Jordan, you can vote for that one. I've also got Carl Jung, Memories, Dreams and Reflections. That would be a reread, but it's been a long time since I read this. Don't think you can vote for this one. I'll save that one for later when I'm definitely in the mood. What else have we got? Shannon Jay, Book 1 of the Chronicles of Tenebrac. Never heard of that one. Not sure about that either. Mel Jay, Orbit 1. Here we are. We're back in classic science fiction territory. You can vote for this McFadden Bartel book, Somewhere in the Depths of Space. A strange intelligence was directing the destruction of the little band of humans of Kolar. You can vote for this one too. What else have we got? We've got Henry James, What Amazing You. I'm going to have to be in the right mood for Henry James. I do like Henry James. Mood reading. P.D. James, Cover Her Face. Yes, you can vote for P.D. James if you want to watch me watch it. Reading a fun little penguin crime. That one will be fun. And what else have we got? Captain W. E. John's Return to Mars by Piccolo. I think this is a kid's book. I mean, tell me if you think it's fantastic. But I'm not going to put this as one of the ones you can choose because recently I haven't been particularly in the mood for kids' books. and I don't want to colour my reading. Okay. Good gracious, the light in here is terrible at night. I should do something about that one year. So, welcome to the ABC challenge. You can comment below which book you would like me to read next out of these 4. And I warn you, it's not going to happen fast. I am going away once again, Hinchinbrook Island this time, and I have got 2 buddy reads scheduled for July, and July, it looks like it's nearly halfway over. Don't know how that happened. However, if you want my next ABC challenge to be one of these 4, just mention below. You have got IDRIESS's Lasseter's Last Ride, which will be interesting. You have got Conan the Unconquered by Robert Jordan. I'm dubious, but willing to be convinced. P.D. James, Cover Her Face, Crime. I like P.D. James. That'll be a fun read. And we've got Mel Jay, Orbit 1, classic science fiction with fantastic cover, not very large, block print, colouring, and thoroughly back in my normal vibe of classic science fiction. What would you like me to read next for my ABC challenge? Comment below. Thank you for watching. Read good books. Not necessarily these good books, but any good books will do. Bye.